Hey guys, welcome back to another lesson. So in our previous lesson, we talked about angles that are formed in circles with their vertex inside of the circle. Today, we are going to be talking about what happens if that vertex is outside of the circle. So quick recap. There are two different lines that we can talk about. A secant line is a line that goes through the circle. It intersects with the circle at 2 points. So right here, that is our secant line. A tangent line is a line that intersects with the circle only at 1 point. So that's this point right here. All right. So these two types of lines can intersect with the circle in ways that they create a vertex, an angle with the vertex outside of the circle. So pause the video right now and take a minute to read about these two different types of angles. Okay, so you've read about these circles or these angles. So they can either be formed secant, or they can be formed by a secant and a tangent. Once again, a secant intersects with the circle at 2 points. So this relationship on the left is your secant, and on the right, you've got one secant because this line intersects with it at 2 points. And then you've got a tangent line which intersects at the circle only at 1 point. Either way, the vertex is always going to be outside of the circle. So the relationship for these, any angle that's created with a vertex outside of the circle is going to be the same. We are going to talk about that big green arc and the small red arc and the outside angle. It is always going to be the big green arc minus the little red arc divided by 2 is equal to the angle. So you subtract the big minus little divided by 2 equals angle. All right, pretty straightforward, right? Here's, as always, your little screenshot from your formula chart. Now, let's take a look at our first example. So our big arc is this guy over here. It's the big green arc. 92 is bigger than 40. It's always going to be, like, you'll visually see that it looks larger, but it's always going to be the arc that's kind of further away from the angle. So big arc, there it is, minus little arc, which is that 40, divided by 2. So 92 is my big arc, minus 40 is my little arc, divided by 2 gives me my angle, which is x. So enter this in your calculator. You'll want to remember, you want to make sure that you capture your numerator. Oh, man, sorry, guys. You capture your numerator in parentheses. So I'm going to do parentheses 92 minus 40 divided by 2, and I get 26. So x is equal to 26 degrees. That is the measure of that angle. Next, problem number 2, tangent secant. Same relationship. We can still identify the bigger arc. The bigger arc is the green one. That is 163 is the big arc, minus the little arc is 41. Divided by 2 is equal to x. So entering this into our calculator, we get x is equal to 61 degrees. Great. All right, let's try it. So level up. The first one, I gave you the green and the red. Now I'm not giving you that, okay? So let's look here. Which one of these is bigger, 170 or 28? Obviously, the 170. That is my big green arc. My little red arc. Let's see here. How do I get more colors? Okay, my little red arc right here. Sorry, that's not exact. So big green minus little red divided by 2 gives me x. So big green, 170, minus little red, which is 28, divided by 2 is equal to x. All right, so put that in my calculator. 71. I got x is equal to 71 degrees. Sweet. What I want you guys to do now, pause the video, see if you can solve number 4 on your own. Okay, if you got x equals 82, you can fast forward to where I start talking about number 5. If not, let's identify it. This one is different from problem 3 because it is a tangent secant instead of a secant-secant relationship, just based on the lines. But I can still identify my larger arc is 200, my smaller arc is 36. So 200 minus 36, put that in parentheses, divide it by 2, and that will give me 82 degrees, which is what I get for x. Now, in this next one, this one is slightly more challenging because, first of all, my arcs aren't labeled, and second of all, I'm not looking for the angle. I am looking for the little arc. So still going to be the same big setup, or same big setup. I'm looking for the big arc, so it was a step ahead. It's still going to be the same setup though. My big arc is 86. My little arc is x, and my angle is 22. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to take big arc minus little arc divided by 2 equals angle. Big arc, 86, minus little arc, x, divided by 2 is equal to my angle. Okay, now I'm going to take that angle and I'm going to put it over 1. Anything divided by 1 is itself, and this sets me up for a very nice, simple cross-multiplying situation where I can just cross-multiply, I'll get my equation, and I can solve from there. So 2 times 22 is 44. It's equal to 1 times 86 minus x is 86 minus x. I can solve this multiple different ways. I am going to add the x to both sides. So I get 44 plus x is equal to 86, and then subtract the 44 from both sides. So x is equal to, let me see here, 42 degrees. All right, so there we go. That is when you are looking for the little arc. All right, in number 6, this one is also tricky. All right, and I'm solving for 2 different arcs. I'm solving for x and I'm solving for y. So I always start by labeling my diagram, finding my big green arc. My big green arc is x. All right, that's x. My little red arc is 79. That's right here. And my angle is 45. Oh man, it didn't change my color. Sorry, guys. All right, there we go. So I'm still going to set it up the same way for now. My instructions are to find x first. I know that I can't have 2 variables in the same equation and solve, so I'm just going to solve for x first. So let's set it up. Big arc minus little arc divided by 2 equals angle. Big arc, x, minus little arc, 79, divided by 2 is equal to angle, which is 45. Once again, I'm going to take that 45 and put it right over 1 because now I can cross multiply. You guys are pros at cross multiplying. We've done it all year, so you're fantastic at this by now. All right, so 2 times 45 is 90 is equal to x minus 79 times 1 is just x minus 79. So this one's a little bit easier to solve than what I was doing in problem number 5 because all I need to do to get x by itself is add the 79. So 169 is equal to x, 169 degrees. Sweet. All right, there it is. Then that was a hideous rectangle, but you guys get the gist. So now I still need to solve for y. And as I look at this circle, I know that, how many degrees are in a circle? Well, 360. All of those degrees have to add up to 360. So I've already got some of them. I've got my x value, which I solved to be, let me write this in, 169 degrees, my bad. So 169 degrees is the big green arc. My little red arc is 79 degrees. And what am I missing? I'm going to highlight it in yellow. I am missing y. So I have to say all 3 of those values have to add up to 360. So I will say 169 plus 79 plus y equal 360. Okay, it's a full circle. It's 360. So now I'm going to take 360 minus 169 minus 79, and I get y is equal to 112 degrees. All right, that is all for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the lesson. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to email me. Yeah, that's it. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.